first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, thank you for joining us. We are live streaming on the Fox 12 Oregon apps, so I highly encourage you to download those on whatever platform you're on, whether that's for your television or your phone. Either way, we are there for you, and you can watch this show and everything else that we are doing. But thanks for joining us. If you are a frequent watcher, I'm Greg Nibbler again, and on Thursdays, you know, we are usually joined by this gentleman right here, Eric Goranson from Around the House Northwest, who, we're going to get a preview of this week's episode of Around the House, and on top of that, he's always got some tips and tricks and advice for everybody. Eric, good to see you, and I know this time we're we're out of the ice and snow now. I guess that was just last week. That was a week ago we were dealing with that.
Right? Crazy. That's crazy.
It seems, I don't even know. Time's weird. But now we're already talking about potential early spring home projects.
Yeah, hopefully we've got winter behind us now so we can talk about some of these spring projects. And I'm kind of happy with that. The snow was cool. Got it out of my system. Now let's talk better weather ahead, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% with you on that. So what are some things that people can start thinking about?
You know, this is when I start thinking about my lawn because I want it to look really good. But some of the stuff that you did last fall and the stuff that you do early in the spring really sets you up for success in the summertime. So one of my secrets to kind of doing a natural lawn care, I mean, you can walk into your home center, buy the chemical fertilizers on the aisle, throw it in there, put it out there. Problem is most of us that'll go out there and do the fertilizers are probably over fertilizing and you're just throwing stuff at it without knowing. So my secret that usually saves you some serious money and gets a healthier lawn is I use this company called Lawn Bright, and they're a mail order system. What I like about it though is you actually sit there when you're taking care of the yard and you jump online, order it, you kind of tell them the type of grass you have, but they send you a test kit so you can actually mail them back your dirt samples out of your lawn. So they do a lab sample and go, okay, do you really need that? And so then you get to put on the stuff that your lawn needs every year versus you just kind of, stick your finger up in the air and trying to figure out in the wind what's going on.
Yeah.
You can spin the all natural stuff that they have instead of all those synthetic stuff that the big companies use. They have natural stuff and then they tell you when to use it, your zip code. So they'll say, okay, now is what you need to do is do this. And they'll give you a step-by-step guide. They'll send you a box of kind of hose and fertilizer. So you just hook it up to your garden hose and it tells you how to do it. And it's a green, natural way of getting your lawn super healthy. So that way you've got the nicest lawn in the neighborhood and you're not putting a bunch of chemicals on there that's bad for the pets and family.
I love that. Especially that analyzing the soil. So because that's what I do is just throw everything out there and hope that it works or that it doesn't kill something. And, it's about a 50-50 chance of whether that's going to work out or not. And so this is much better. I like this idea a lot. So that's something somebody could start working on right now, probably even before you maybe necessarily put grass down.
Absolutely. Right now, some of those kind of spring fertilizers is not a bad idea since we got some warmer weather, it seems, around the corner. So it's kind of the perfect time to do that. So they'll send you kind of a kit to go with, but then you just mail back, okay, we're going to start out with a basic fertilizer that just kind of adds some nitrogen to it. Most lawns need that anyway. So that's what they kind of start you out with just to give it a little boost. But literally you're going to go around with a garden shovel and throw some dirt in a bag and mail it back to them. And then they say, hey, here's your problems. Here's what we do to fix it. And sometimes, especially in the Pacific Northwest here on our side of the state, we end up going through and going, wow, we've got a really acidic soil. So they'll tell you what to throw on that to kind of balance it out. So that way the grass is even healthier and you don't have to put a bunch of chemicals on it.
Love it. So there you go. So there's definitely one thing that everybody can start doing right now. What's something else that they could be doing?
We've had enough storms and stuff right now that when we get a nice dry day, get up and clean those gutters out because they have been collecting everything the wind has been blowing. And if you don't have gutter guards on there, it's a good time to get up and get that stuff cleaned up because as we know, these spring rains and the atmospheric rivers can really get things plugged up. So getting up there on a dry day like today and cleaning it up and getting that stuff cleaned up and making sure that, all your storm drains around on your property, if you've got something out in front of the house, make sure that's clean. And then now that we're kind of out of that freezing weather, you can open up those vents to your foundation, for your crawl space, let that breathe a little bit. Since we're not worried about overnight freezing temps, you can always put them back in, but it's good to let that breathe a little bit and let some of that natural air back in there so you don't have to worry about as much radon and those things coming up and getting inside your house.
Good idea. Yeah, get some air in. Getting air in is good anytime. So yeah, especially when we have a little bit warmer weather and maybe even some more on the way next week. So good plans there. What else do you think people should do?
Walk around and just do an inspection. Like this weekend, it's raining hard. Throw the rain jacket on or grab the umbrella. Go out and walk around and see how the gutters and everything else is working. Do you have, is a gutter plugged? Is it overflowing and it's causing damage to the foundation or hurting the landscaping around there? Make sure that everything's working, and then take a look at like the caulking and everything around the windows and siding and all that stuff. Take a look at it. It's had a beating this winter. How is that looking? Because that's, again, going to be a nice warm spring day project, but you can at least kind of make your list of stuff that you should be doing around the house. And then just making sure that the bushes and everything, or any branches that are down or whatever, are not up against the house. Nothing's touching the house. Trim it back before it starts to grow again, and they'll be a little bit happier. But those are all really good things to do. And then again, talk to your local garden expert and see what spring plants you have and what spring fertilizers you need to start thinking about.
All right. So great list right there of things that people can be doing. Anything else they should think about, or should we talk about around the house northwest?
Yeah, and then just take a look on that roof too. If you've got moss growing up, if you see green on it, now's either the time to start thinking about, okay, do I need to go up and treat that, or do I want to get one of those soft wash companies to come out and do it? Just never get up if you've got one of the asphalt composition roofs up there. Don't go up with the pressure washer, because you're going to wash decades of life off that thing. So you need somebody up there with a soft wash, maybe a brush, and something to basically treat and kill that moss, so that way you're good to go. That moss is just going to damage the roof. So if you see green up there, it's time to get after it. And a lot of us have it. So there's some steps you can do to make that right.
Okay, so start thinking about that and get that taken care of. All right, good options right there. And everybody can share this segment too and let other people know about it. So good things to get a good step on here before, hopefully we're out of the winter. So yeah, getting ready for the spring and going from there. Yeah, right. All right, let's talk about around the house northwest. What do we have for this week?
Oh man, we go up right next to Mount Tabor Park up there. We are visiting this house. Built in 1908, 6,500 square feet on a half acre with a court out back, so you can play, pickleball, basketball out on it. It is dialed in, and it has a chef's kitchen. And I'll say this, if you were a More Good Day Oregon viewer, you will recognize that maybe one of the celebrity chefs on that show was cooking in that kitchen. So you might, if you watch that, you might go, hey, I've seen this kitchen before. So we dive in on that and really take a look at that place. And then here's the cool part. We go over and talk to Cathedral Glass. They are a stained glass shop. So they repair, build new. So if you've got stained glass windows that are maybe bowing and they're starting to kind of show their age, because stained glass only lasts about 70 to 80 years in a good situation before you got to rebuild it and repair it. These guys do it right here in Portland, and it's fun to see some artisans like that.
Very cool. Yeah, and someplace local that's doing something along those lines. I would have never thought that's here. I mean, it makes sense. So that's really great, and that's one of the things that you get to see with Around the House Northwest is you take everybody along to go check those places out.
Absolutely. And then one more thing we do, I tell you what, this is a lot of fun. We go visit the Regrainery. They are a custom woodworking shop here in Portland, and we've been there before, but they are building some super cool custom tables. And we talked to the last thing I'll say is we talked about this in kind of the best of CES, that super cool new security camera. Well, guess what? It's just getting released for sale today, but I've already filmed it, and we get to try it out, and I show you how to install it on the show Saturday. So this just came out today, but you'll see it in Saturday in full motion, and it's under $200, which is cool for something that's got full color night vision and all the cool little details you want from a high-end camera at a low-end price. Nice.
So now that it's out for release, I can watch this and figure out all the bells and whistles and the tricks to it, and then you can get it after that. Well, perfect. And how can people watch Around the House Northwest?
All right, we got 600 plus videos on YouTube, but to watch this episode here, you'll want to watch it on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. Then it re-airs on Sunday night at 6 o'clock. So if you missed it, don't worry. Always set your DVR, and then it re-airs Friday mornings at 8:30. And that's the cool thing is if you missed last week's show, you can always catch it tomorrow morning on Fox 12 Plus as well.
There it is. Plenty of options, and everybody can go check that out. Eric, always good to have you on here. Thanks for joining, and thanks everybody for joining, for watching the show and checking out Around the House Northwest, and of course Fox 12 Now. Don't forget to download those Fox 12 Oregon apps. Great places to watch both shows and everything else that we have going on here. And I think that's about it for right now. We'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.